Hi, my name is Crystal. Welcome to Sweet Eclectic, where I do videos about whatever I want. Today I'm going to be talking about why I chose to quit teaching. So a little bit about me. I taught kindergarten in Utah, and then I moved to Washington and I taught first grade for 1 year, and then I decided to quit. A little bit of backstory before I begin. Why did I become a teacher? So I became a teacher because I had three interests. I wanted to find a job that was creative. I wanted a job that was with kids. And then I wanted a job that incorporated behavior, because I really love behavior management and behavior things like that. And so those were the three pillars that kept me teaching and wanting me to keep my working towards my degree. Now, when I actually got into teaching, I realized that these three pillars weren't always equally met. So, editing Crystal here, I wanted to just explain this a little bit better. So the reason the three pillars crumbled were because they weren't being addressed in a way that was what I learned in school. So number one, the behavior interventions that were in place were very outdated and not research-based, and they were being implemented by people that were not properly trained. So behavior was just escalating like crazy, and it left me to the person to go and do all of the behavior management by myself, which is impossible in a group of 30 kids. But that's what I knew how to do, and that's how I approached everything. So my very first year teaching, it was an incredible experience. It was hard. It was so hard, but it was like fulfilling me creatively, fulfilling my behavior love, and the kids were just incredible, and it was so fun. And then I moved to Washington, and it was in the middle of COVID, and it was a totally different experience because we were all teaching online. And we did go back in person partway through the year, but they asked me to stay and continue doing online schooling, which was fine because I was pregnant at the time, so it was safest for me. But ultimately, that teaching year was very difficult for me for several reasons. And those three pillars dissolved. Number one, creativity dissolved because the last teacher experience I was in, they used micromanagement and they cloaked it as equity. Hi again. I just wanted to define equity before I move on. Equity means making sure learners have the right resources they need to learn. This is the image we used a lot in school and is used a lot in school districts to teach about equity. This is commonly confused with equality, which means providing the same resources to everyone. So I just wanted to place that there, and then maybe I'll pop in later. So they kept saying, like, we're trying to increase equity in our schools. And so they would give you a script, and you would have to follow that script, specifically for math instruction. And so they would give us a script, and we would have to follow that script verbatim. And ultimately, the admin wanted to be able to walk to all of the first grade classrooms, and we would be teaching the exact same thing in the exact same way at the exact same time. And you can see how that crumbled my creativity pillar. And then on top of that, we weren't allowed to deviate from the script, even if the script wasn't working. So if the students were not getting it, I could not back up and reteach something without telling my team about it. And I had to get approval from my team that I was going to be teaching in a different way. And I couldn't do it without talking to them first. And then also the lack of support behaviorally. So I only taught during the year of COVID. So there were a myriad of different behaviors, and my school was trying really hard to teach behavior, and they were doing a stellar job in the world of behavior, but it was very difficult because it wasn't very consistent. And it was very difficult to be consistent with behavior because we couldn't control if that person, we can't control that person's environment because they're learning from home. Editing, Crystal here. The last segment about salary got corrupted, so I'm just going to do a small little summary here. It's no secret that teachers get underpaid, and one of the reasons I quit teaching was because all of my money would basically go towards daycare, and then I would have just a very small amount of money outside of that for other things, and that just wasn't worth it to me. My husband makes enough where he can provide for our family and I can stay home and raise Kaylee, and so that just seemed most practical for our family. Now, not everybody has that ability. Not everybody has somebody to help supplement, and so teachers who are single parents or that like their spouse or significant other don't make enough to support both of them, and they have to both work. Teachers do not make enough to survive on their own. Most teachers have some sort of supplemental income, whether that be a YouTube channel, Instagram channel. They wait. A lot of people are waitresses. A lot of people work at Burger King on the weekends or at nights. It's very uncommon for a teacher to not be doing something, to be supplementing their income in some way, if they don't have another source of income coming in from a significant other, a spouse, or somebody is helping them. So that is glaringly obvious that teachers do not make enough to even survive and take care of their families. And that is unacceptable. So hopefully that helped you understand a little bit about like the teaching environment right now. And I think it's very important, even if you don't have children, even if you don't care too much about education or you have certain opinions, those are all irrelevant. What is relevant is that our schools are failing, and it is not because of our teachers. I want to end this by saying, please look into your school districts in your area, see how you can help teachers, see how you can help just the schools in general if you're too busy, but just try and make a difference, because schools are falling apart, and it's not because of the teachers. I did not stop teaching because I didn't love it anymore, but it wasn't anything that I expected, and it hurts. It really hurts. Okay, so that's all I have for today. If you would like to watch more videos, go ahead and head to my channel and watch some other videos. I make videos, try to be consistent, but it doesn't always work. But yeah, and I hope you guys have a great day, and remember to find beauty and power in your journey. Bye.